I'm a mother, a grandmother, and I come from a family with hundreds of cousins, uncles, and aunts. Growing up in Brazil, family isn't just a part of life, it's woven into every single moment. From the day you're born, you're surrounded by one of the largest, most supportive circles of people you could ever imagine. With my background in journalism, I've always been keen on following the lives of those around me, learning from each of their experiences. That's why, when I came across Paul Tough's How Children Succeed, a New York Times bestseller, it resonated with me on a deep level. His insights into what truly shapes success in children are powerful, and I felt inspired to create this video for parents, grandparents, or anyone who wants to understand more about how character, grit, and resilience play an essential role in raising successful children. Have you ever wondered what truly makes a child succeed? Is it intelligence, talent, or the ability to ace exams? For years, we've been conditioned to believe that success is determined by cognitive abilities and standardized test scores. But what if I told you that success goes beyond what we traditionally measure? In his thought-provoking book, How Children Succeed, Paul Tough challenges the long-standing belief that academic achievement is the sole predictor of future success. Instead, he uncovers a much deeper and more powerful truth. Success is shaped by character, by qualities like perseverance, grit, self-control, and curiosity. So, what does that mean for our children, for us as parents, teachers, grandparents, or mentors? Tough's research tells us that it's not just about intellectual ability, it's about how kids face challenges, how they handle failure, and whether they can pick themselves up after falling down. These traits, what we call non-cognitive skills, are what truly set children on a path to success. Think about it for a moment. When we were kids, how often were we told that failure wasn't an option? But what if failure was actually an essential part of success? For decades, we've emphasized intelligence tests, grades, and rankings. We've used these metrics to define success and to determine which students would thrive. But Paul Tough argues that focusing on cognitive skills alone, like IQ or test scores, is an incomplete picture. Yes, academic knowledge is important, but Tough reveals something profound. Character skills like grit, self-discipline, and resilience are just as, if not more, important. He points to research from economists and psychologists showing that kids who develop these traits tend to achieve greater success later in life, whether it's in their careers, relationships, or personal growth. Grit, as Tough explains, is the ability to stick with something over time, even when it's hard. It's about perseverance. Imagine a child learning how to play the piano or running their first marathon. The road to mastery is full of mistakes, frustration, and challenges, but what matters is that they don't give up. Tough draws from the work of psychologist Angela Duckworth, who found that grit is often a better predictor of success than talent or IQ. Children who are encouraged to develop grit, who learn that it's okay to fail and try again, are building muscles that will carry them through life's inevitable ups and downs. Failure. It's a word we often associate with negativity. But what if failure was the key to learning? Paul Tough argues that children who face adversity and learn how to bounce back from it develop resilience. This is not just about surviving hardship, it's about thriving in the face of it. Take, for example, children growing up in poverty or facing difficult family situations. Their resilience is often their greatest asset. Through programs that support emotional development, these children learn how to cope with stress, how to regulate their emotions, and how to stay focused even when life is tough. Social and emotional learning is a big part of this. It's not just about teaching children to be smart, it's about teaching them to be human. Skills like empathy, self-control, and patience are just as critical to success as academics. Kids who can understand and manage their emotions, who can work through challenges with others, are better equipped to face the real world. We often think of failure as something to avoid at all costs. But, as Tough shows us, failure is one of the most powerful tools for learning. Children who fail learn how to cope with disappointment, how to adapt their strategies, and how to persist. The ability to face failure head-on is what builds long-term success. We often think of failure as something to avoid at all costs, but, as Tough shows us, failure is one of the most powerful tools for learning. Children who fail learn how to cope with disappointment, how to adapt their strategies, and how to persist. The ability to face failure head-on is what builds long-term success. Think about some of the most successful people in history, from athletes to entrepreneurs to artists. What they all have in common isn't just talent, but an incredible ability to bounce back from failure. That's what we need to teach our kids. Failure isn't the end, it's a stepping stone. So, how can we develop these crucial character traits? It's about creating environments where children feel supported, where they are encouraged to take risks and face challenges without fear of failure. As Paul Tough shows us, success isn't just about being smart or gifted, it's about the strength of character. When children learn to persist, when they're curious about the world around them, and when they know how to pick themselves up after a fall, they're not just succeeding in school, they're succeeding in life. As Paul Tough shows us, success isn't just about being smart or gifted, it's about the strength of character. When children learn to persist, when they're curious about the world around them, and when they know how to pick themselves up after a fall, they're not just succeeding in school, they're succeeding in life. As a mother and grandmother with the wisdom gained from watching dozens of cousins, siblings, and friends' children grow up, I can tell you that success goes far beyond the traditional markers we often rely on. Coming from a family of 9 children, raised in a home where money was scarce but love and resilience were abundant, I've seen firsthand how the qualities that Paul Tough talks about in How Children Succeed, perseverance, grit, self-control, and curiosity, shape lives far more profoundly than grades or test scores ever could. I've witnessed my brothers and sisters navigate their own unique paths, overcoming obstacles and challenges that might have seemed insurmountable to others. And despite the lack of financial resources, we were rich in the values that truly matter. It wasn't academic achievement alone that defined our future. It was the strength of our character, our determination to keep going, to push through setbacks, and to remain curious about the world around us. This book resonates with me deeply because it validates what I've seen over the years. Success isn't just about what you know, it's about who you are. And as parents, grandparents, or simply as individuals looking to guide the next generation, it's vital that we nurture these character traits in our children. Because in the end, it's not just about getting ahead in school, it's about thriving in life. So I encourage you to think about what values you want to instill in your children. Focus on helping them build the resilience and character they need to face life's inevitable challenges. After all, the road to success is paved not just with intellect, but with heart and perseverance. As Paul Tough so beautifully illustrates, when we cultivate character, we give our children the tools they need to succeed in the most important journey of all, the journey of life.